Good morning, or welcome to the morning after show. The morning after the night before, Sunday morning blues this morning. After yesterday's result, Newcastle United failed to win yet again. A game that they've arguably dominated. Certainly had control of for the most part. So anyway, St James's Park, Newcastle United 1, Bournemouth 1. The second consecutive home game that we've drawn. Despite being the better team. Is this in context, how so much has changed in a year, a year ago, if we'd have drawn at home, it would have been nice not to just not to have lost. The expectations there, so you got to check yourself a little bit and think, well, it could have been worse. At least we didn't lose. We weren't embarrassed. We weren't torn apart. Their goal, it was a bit like, oh, what's just happened there? But apart from that, I thought we looked fairly solid. I think they had a header in the first half they should have scored, but apart from that, we didn't really look like conceding it in my eyes. So yeah, just running through the starting lineup as expected, really. Pope in goal, Trippier, Cher, Dan Burn for Botman, Matt Target, and midfield three of Bruno, Willock, Joe Linton. Then up top, obviously no Wilson, no ASM. So we've got Miggy, Fraser, and Isak. Performance-wise, individual. So Isak, fabulous penalty. No goalkeeper in the world saving that. It was so far. It was in the side netting, bottom left. Perfect. But apart from that, he didn't really do a lot, to be honest. Didn't really see him. He had one moment in the second half, I believe it was, where he, I think someone went to play the ball into him. He got beaten by the defender, chased the defender down. Lovely, solid tackle to regain the ball and then drove at the defence. Apart from that, he looked like someone who's new to the team, who was sort of like taking a step back and letting other people make decisions, which is natural. It's only his third game, and he's been thrust straight into it. Eddie, I'm sure, would have preferred to, obviously if Wilson was fit, to bring Isak on half an hour left, 20 minutes left for a few games, and then see where they are, and if he's ready to start over Wilson, he's ready to start. But apart from that, I thought he was quiet, to be honest. But yeah, fabulous penalty. Lovely to see Bruno back. I'm a little bit surprised he went straight into the starting lineup, but then that suggests to me that he perhaps would have been ready for the West Ham game that was postponed, and perhaps that he's had another week fitness, so they thought perhaps he is ready to go. I think he wasn't at it yesterday, like so many players. Didn't play badly, of course, but he lost the ball on a few occasions. Played some lovely passes. But yeah, the whole team wasn't at it. If we go through, Pope played all right. He didn't do anything wrong. Matt Target, I didn't think it was his best game. I thought he was in danger of getting carded numerous times, particularly in the first half. It seemed to me like he was their right winger was falling over at every opportunity. Yeah, Target, I thought, fucking hell, referee's going to lose his patience for you in a minute, boy. Yeah, not his best game, but certainly not his worst. I thought the two centre-halves did okay. Fabian Schär, when he lined up that shot, it was like reminiscent of Forest, reminiscent of Burnley all those years ago, what, 3-4 years ago. I thought, oh, this is getting top bins here, and he smashed it over. But yeah, those two didn't do anything wrong, I don't think. Trippier was by a mile our best player. Playmaker from the right hand side, lovely craft, disguise, creativity in his passing range. He was brilliant. Particularly passing, Joe Willock benefited from some of his passes. Bruno, Miggy down the right hand side did really well. Midfield three, I thought Joe Linton was okay, not his best game. Apart from Trips, who nearly scored from a free kick. I should mention that in the first half. Now, if that goes in, we probably go on to win that 2-3 now, and it's a comfortable game. Joe Linton again, meh. Bruno, as we said, not his best game. I thought Joe Willock was okay, but I know it's a new manager, it's a new system, but where is the goal-scoring Joe Willock that we had on loan? Not last season, the season before. Like, I know he scored a couple of goals last season, but he just doesn't. Bruno's often been described as the deep line playmaker. Now, to me, if you've got three in midfield, you can balance it off. You've got the deep line playmaker, you've got the box-to-box destroyer in Joe Linton, who's buzzing left and right, doing everything. So surely that gives license for Joe Willock to go and join the attack, but he just doesn't look like he's ever going to score again. And that's not through missing chances, because he's a hell of a finisher, but he's just not getting the chances. Up front, like I said, Isak was quiet. Fraser huffed and puffed like he does. Should probably have done better with that chance he had, because he had time. Miggy cuts in on his left all the time, which slows down the attack, but then again, it does benefit because we've got a right back who is so creative, so attacking in Trippier, and Willock can drift into that right wing. First half, there were just far too many of these like floated nothing crosses, which the goalkeeper could just pick out the air, easily. We weren't really whipping them in as such. Fraser, I think it's because you play Fraser on the left and Miggy on the right. So Fraser, as we know, he's not one of these right-footed wingers on the left who's going to like do what Miggy does on the other side, or like an Arjen Robben used to do, or like, I don't know, Ronaldinho, for example, was a right-foot player on the left who would cut in. Maxi is, I don't know why it took me so long to think of Maxi, but yeah, Fraser likes getting to the byline, putting crosses in. Now you could argue, why doesn't he do like the Shelvey cross for Chris Wood last season at Southampton, where he like cuts in his right foot and whips it in? But his talent is beating a man and getting the ball in. Now he's beating a man and he's getting the ball in with his left foot, which he put some they're not poor connections, but there's no sting in the cross, and the goalkeeper can read it and just pluck it out of the air. Miggy on the other side doesn't do that at all. I mean, Isak, it's clear he's not like a dominating aerial presence, although he's tall enough, and he will improve, no doubt. But it would have been an idea to swap those wingers around, perhaps. Have Fraser on the right hand side where he can beat that man with his pace and get some real whip on the ball. Willock has shown that he's good in the air, and it doesn't always have to be direct headers. Like that Kevin De Bruyne assist for I don't know who scored, Jack Grealish in the first minute of the Wolves game. Beautiful cross. And Miggy on the left hand side, because he's left footed, could predominantly do the same. But yeah, I thought we started the game well. In the first 10 minutes, we had real presence, real purpose, intensity, and the Bournemouth defence looked a bit shaky. Looked like they were a bit like, oh shit, we're under the cosh here. And then we just relaxed, and we had no intensity really for, I would say, a good 85% of that game. We were very fortunate to get the penalty, I think, although VAR, I don't agree with the rules, but the rules are the rules. It's an unnatural position, but I'd have felt a bit seen off if that was the other way around. But buried the penalty, Isak, as I said. Very lucky to have it 2 minutes after they scored, because it really went flat. Then we got the penalty. The noise that the crowd did their bit, but it just, we had that intensity, and then it just, no ideas really. Bruno got subbed off obviously because he hasn't played for a while. Sean Longstaff come on. Now I'm a bit of a fan of Sean Longstaff. I think he's a decent player, but I was sort of talking to myself watching the telly, like, midfielders among the positions, I think the fittest should be the midfielders and the fullbacks. I'm not saying they should be, but they're probably gonna be. Like in rugby, your fittest players are probably gonna be your flankers, because they have to do the up down all the time. You know, have to do the most work. Particularly number 7 open side. But anyway, you know, midfielders are always on the go and they box to box, and fullbacks are always up down. But he just come on and he was just like scared, and he was not scared, but he would get the ball and he'd be like, "Oh, just give it to someone else and just stand there." I'm like, "You've been brought on as fresh legs to inject a bit of energy, drive, carry the ball," and then he's just getting pickpocketed, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, here we go." Yeah, we just ran out. We just didn't have any ideas. That was the perfect game for someone like James Maddison to thread everything together. Like I said, we didn't play badly. We weren't rubbish. We just had an off day. Like Eddie Howe said in his post-match comments, and we were off our game in every aspect. Not looking down my nose at Bournemouth, I thought Bournemouth played well in terms of their plan and what they wanted to achieve. They almost played like the perfect away performance, if you like. But the gap in quality was there to see. When we had our good spells, it was just frustrating that we didn't capitalise. Yeah, we can moan that against Liverpool we were robbed because Isak went onside and the whole added time. Make your own minds up about that. Brighton, we got a draw away against one of the better teams in the league. Wilson's goal was chalked off. When you look at Haaland's goal in the Champions League, it didn't even go to VAR. Didn't even get looked at. It was fine. So that was bullshit. Against Palace, robbed. So we can make excuses, but the facts are we're not killing games off. Yesterday we deserved to win through possession, but we didn't deserve to win because apart from that little flurry at the end of the first half when it was Joelinton hit the post, then Joelinton had another chance, then Fraser had a chance. It was like pinball, all in quick succession. Apart from that, we didn't create anything. And in the second half, I don't remember any big chances either, really. It was all half chances, these nothing crosses into the box. We played, just not enough variation, not enough variety or fresh ideas or abstract outside of the box thinking. The substitutes bench says a lot, doesn't it? Now, I'm one of those who, when we got taken over, I was like, right, I want to do it. If it was up to me, I want to do it organically, naturally, properly, not just, here's a shit ton of money, kill everybody, let's win the title within 3 years. Obviously, that's not going to happen because of FFP and all that. But we need to spend a bit of money again in January. I'm not saying another 90 million, but there's clear. You look at the bench in terms of midfield and attacking options. Chris Wood, Jacob Murphy, Matt Ritchie, Sean Longstaff. They're not up to it, are they? Good Premier League players, although you could probably argue Matt Ritchie is going to be, he probably ought to be playing in the Championship, maybe Sean Longstaff and Jacob Murphy too, but I think they're Premier League players. I love Jacob Murphy, his attitude and stuff, but they're not going to, those substitutions aren't going to win us the game, are they? They're not up to it. Alright, we've got injuries, significant injuries. If John Joe Shelvey's fit, you're probably bringing on Shelvey or Willock as a midfield option. Because obviously you've got Joelinton, Shelvey, Willock, Bruno. If ASM and Wilson are fit, maybe you're bringing on ASM for Isak, or Isak for... maybe you're bringing on Wilson for Isak, or vice versa. Also, if Wilson and ASM are fit, you're not playing Fraser and Miggy. One of them, maybe even both of them, are coming on as subs. Jacob Murphy has not got the quality of Miggy or Fraser. Chris Wood, as much as I love how it already works, and he seems like a good bloke. He ain't got the quality of Wilson or Isak. So 10th in the league, 7 games in, 8 points. We've only lost once though. We've only lost once, and we were robbed in that game, and that was away at Anfield. You know, even though we've come on leaps and bounds since the Bruce regime, I was never expecting a win at Anfield. I would have taken a draw at Anfield 100%. Yeah, we just need to convert these draws into wins and create some more chances and take these chances. Next game's Fulham away. That's not going to be easy. Fulham has shown this season that they can go toe to toe. They gave Liverpool a hell of a fright on the opening day. I think they beat, I want to say they beat Bournemouth 3-2 the other day. I'm not sure. They've scored quite a few goals this season. I've done well, Mitrovic, in the Fantasy League. I think they beat Forest 3-2 yesterday. Let's just double check that. So yeah, down at the cottage, Craven Cottage is not going to be easy. By any means, you know, no away game in the Premier League is easy, is it? Telly's not working. You fucking hell. I'll sod it. I'm 99% sure they beat Forest 3-2. So that's going to be tricky. It's going to be difficult. But our away games this season, you know, we've had what, 3? So we have Forest at home, Brighton away, City at home, Liverpool away, Wolves away. So we've had Liverpool away, Wolves away, Brighton away. So 3 of our 7 games. That's another thing to sort of. We've had 4 home games out of 7, and we've won 1. Right, we've not lost, and we've arguably been the better side in all 4 games. But we need to start making the most of that. So yeah, away games. It's going to be another fortnight because fucking international break. I do not give a shit about international football. It's just a pain in the ass mid-season, but there we go. We had obviously a break last week because of the Queen's death. Football needed to stop. Every other sport carried on, but there we go. So yeah, the one benefit is Eddie Howe can get these players on the training pitch, the vast majority of them, try and iron out what's going on, gets a bit of confidence back. It gives obviously a bit more time for ASM fitness-wise, a bit more time for Callum Wilson fitness-wise. Because I do think Isak could do with not a bit of pressure taken off him, because there's no real pressure on him. But he's been put straight in there. He could do with a bit of time to adapt. You know. So I would prefer Wilson to start against Fulham, if I'm honest. It's my opinion. But anyway, that's that. Frustrating day yesterday, frustrating results, frustrating performance. If I was at the St James Park, I wouldn't have been booing at the end. I thought that was a bit over the top, if I'm honest. But it is frustrating because we should be beaten. I'm not being funny. Bournemouth have conceded how many goals this season? We should be able to put them away at home. But they're in the honeymoon period. Got rid of Scott Parker. New manager or interim, whatever you want to call it. He's doing okay. He's doing well. He's galvanised them, it seems to be. So you take that into consideration. Maybe it wasn't too bad a result. But there we go. Looking forward to next month's game against Fulham. Fuck's sake, got so long to wait. And yeah, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Thanks very much.